What's going on, YouTube? This is Mag Dog TV. We back with another one. We are 87 days, 22 hours, 26 minutes, and so seconds away from our first college football game of the season. In fact, many teams around the globe have just begun their conditioning training, but we are in a different era in today's society. Many players are in the transfer portal wondering where they will land for the 2024 season. In fact, there are still many in the transfer portal that still have just as good as skills of those that are already on campus around the globe. In fact, I'm gonna give you guys my top 5 available wide receivers sitting in the transfer portal, so let's get to it.
Every other city I go, from Colorado to the Bayou I go. Y'all know the motto, get a info I know. My people know it's Mad Dog TV, let's go. To every other city, every city I go. From Colorado to the Bayou I go. Y'all know the motto, get a info I know.
There are many players that's sitting in the transfer portal that has just as much skills as those that are on current rosters right now as we speak. In fact, I'm going to let this young man speak about those things as far as the transfer portal, and then we're going to get to our top 5.
Got something for you. Did you know every quarterback in that Heisman room at the end was transfers? Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penix. They were all transfers. None of them ended their careers where they started. Bo Nix stayed in college football so long that he threw for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. 3,600 kids jumped in the transfer portal this time. That's a lot. And for most of those kids, that portal is going to be their cemetery. But for you to stand up and hoot and holler and say that the transfer portal doesn't work, I'll say ask Florida State. They ran to the transfer portal last year and then ran through their schedule 12-0. Michigan State changed 40 bodies on their team when coach got there. And that next year, it was this close to being in the college football playoffs. Transfer portal isn't going to work for everybody. You just got to figure out a way to make it work for you and get out of other people's business.
Number 1, Carmelo English. Now, Carmelo English was a Michigan Wolverine after transferring late March. He says, I thoroughly enjoyed my time as a Wolverine. I would like to thank Coach Harbaugh, Coach Moore, Coach Bellamy for believing in my ability to play at UM. More notably, I appreciate my teammates, Michigan fans, and support staff. After careful consideration, I will be entering my name in the transfer portal on April 16th, as he wrote back to the media in March the 23rd. Now, English appeared in 6 games at wide receiver in 2023. He caught a 4-yard touchdown against Indiana for his collegiate score. He is definitely one of those guys I feel like has great upside. When you cut on the film, you cut on the tape, you can clearly see he can definitely catch the football in traffic. 5'11", 190, runs a 4.5, 4.4, 40-yard dash. Definitely is somebody that can help any team out there that definitely need a wide receiver. You can put him in the slot. You can also put him on the outside. His best thing about his game from watching his tape is his route running and ability to get the ball in the end zone. As you guys can see, he can also catch in the red zone, considering that he's 5'11", a little bit undersized as far as height and stature, but you can see him clearly being able to utilize his speed, which can definitely help a lot of football teams. Number 2 is Trey Richardson. Now, Trey Richardson is definitely one of those guys I definitely love when I see him on tape. A little bit undersized, 5'10", 165. Definitely can run. He has upcoming visits June 10th for Kansas, June 17th for New Mexico State. Definitely can utilize the backfield as well. He can catch return punts, play in the slot. One of those guys, I don't understand why he's in the transfer portal, because when you cut on the film, you cut on the tape, you can clearly see his athleticism. In high school, he had an all-purpose of over 1,900 yards rushing, 20.5 average yardage, 27 touchdowns. He also played wide receiver, 40 receptions, 1,079 yards, 27 yards per catch, 15 touchdowns. All-purpose yardage, as I said before, was 1,964 rushing yardage. Definitely can play the game of football, man. I can tell you guys right now, I could see him definitely signing with a team during the off season, maybe around this month or next month. Just cannot see why a player like this definitely will be in a transfer portal during the 2024 season. As you guys know, injuries happens as well, so it remains to be seen how his season is going to go. But anyway, let's keep the train rolling. Number 3 is Colin Sullivan. Now, Colin Sullivan is one of those guys, a big target. He's big frame. One of those teams out there that may need an X wide receiver. You can definitely utilize him. He's big frame. He has good height, frame space, runs a 4.48 in the 40. So not only is he big framed, he can also move. He ran track in high school, shows impressive top end speed for a large frame wide receiver. When you cut on the film, you cut on the tape, you can clearly see his athleticism. Sullivan was a class of 2020 signee coming in as a 3-star recruit. The Texas native played in 17 games on offense and special teams, recording just 2 career catches for 10 yards. He was expected to serve as a depth in that Purdue wide receiver room in 2023, but unfortunately, things happen. As you guys know, man, you just never know how situations go. Definitely could be one of those guys you can plug in, man, because as I said before, he has experience. Purdue is now set to have a lot of playmakers at the wide receiver position. So Colin Sullivan decided to hit that transfer portal, and maybe he can land somewhere with the team that need a wide receiver. But anyway, let's keep the train rolling. He was my number 3 wide receiver. Next up, we have another big frame wide receiver, 6'2", 195, Nicholas LeBoy. Nicholas LeBoy is definitely one of those guys that definitely can play the game of football. Was receiving some interest last year. This reminds me a lot when these guys hit that transfer portal. You just never know, man, because when you cut on the film, you cut on the tape, you are very surprised that he's still sitting in the transfer portal. Through 20 games in the last 2 seasons, the wideout has tallied 83 catches, 1,074 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's from Maryland. He's a Maryland native. He averaged 12.9 yards per catch. He played at Avalon High School, which produced Dallas Cowboys star cornerback Trayvon Diggs. Now he's in the portal. He's been in the portal for 2 weeks. And there's some teams that definitely has been interested as of late, though. We have Ohio, Maryland, Duke, Wisconsin, Indiana, Wyoming, Georgia State, Miami. Remains to be seen which one of those guys are definitely going to be able to grab Nicholas. But I can tell you guys right now, he won't be in the transfer portal very long. Definitely is a very good playmaker. Last but certainly not least is another playmaking wide receiver, another big frame, but he plays very skill set. You know, he can play in the slot, play on the outside, can move. He is definitely what we call a slot wide receiver. For my viewers that's learning as we go, a slot wide receiver is simply inside of the numbers on the hash around that area. He's 6'2", 185. From Utah, went to Park City High School, played all 12 games for the Cats, was named an honorable mention All-Pioneer League selection, also named to the FCS third team all-conference squad, led the team in receptions with 21, finished with second in receiving yards with 285, was fourth on the team in rushing yards with 474. As I said before, he is one of those guys that is 6'2", which you consider big frame, but you can also utilize him in the slot, in the rushing game, as well as that goes. He also led Davidson in scoring with 12 total touchdowns, 6 rushing and 6 receiving, had a season high of 157 all-purpose yards against Stetson, rushed for a season high 111 yards with a score, and caught a 46-yard touchdown passing in the game. Rushed for 88 yards, 2 scores against Morehead State, and it also gave him PFL academic honor roll as well. So not only are you getting somebody that definitely can play the game of football, you're also getting somebody that is good in the classroom as well. So this is my top 5, as I said before. Very first time I'm making a top 5 transfer portal list. So just bear with me, guys. I know this video wasn't as good as I wanted to be, but just bear with me. I'm going to continue to bring you guys coverage of Colorado Buffaloes, but I'm also going to add some transfer portal lists as far as the players go, just to add some creativity, because I love the game of football and it's never enough for me. Drop a comment, let me know how you guys feel. And if you guys like the video, definitely subscribe to the channel. Peace.